Okay, my people, welcome to Kibera. So today we're going to walk around and see what we can see. Kibera is about 6 kilometers away from Nairobi and is the largest slum in Africa. The name Kibera is derived from the Kinubi word Kibra, which means forest. So the narrative is that back in 1918, there was the Nubian soldiers who had fought for the British people during the World War I. And so as a reward, they were given land or plots in a forest outside of Nairobi. So that's how we get the name Kibra, meaning a forest. But now later, with the modernization and times changing, other tribes moved in, and now dynamics are very different here. The population here is quite high, but you can't really tell who is telling you the accurate figure. Some people say 170,000, some people say 500K, some people say 1 million. I have never found an accurate figure. Now, the outcome of this high population is a lot of people or houses in a small area, relatively small area, if I can say that. And that comes with a lot of challenges. So for instance, there's very narrow spaces between houses, and this can be a very big problem in case you need to deliver supplies to someone's house or you need to access someone's house. Can be a bit of an issue. And then let's say a pregnant lady goes into labor in the middle of the night in such conditions, can be very difficult. And speaking of houses, some houses are made of mabati purely. Some houses are made of mabati and matope and some sticks, and some houses are made of cement and bricks and all that. Now that can be a challenge, especially the houses that are made of matope and sticks. In the rain season, there's the issue of leaks, there's the issue of other things. So people try to figure out how to combat that. They try to use some sort of polythene to prevent the leakage and all that. Now, speaking of houses, some people have electricity in their houses, which is a very good thing. Now, there's two types of electricity. There's the Kenya power electricity, the genuine one, and then there's the other electricity, if you know what you know. I'm not going to explain much about that, but we call it Kibera power. Now, the so-called illegal electricity is cheaper than the Kenya power electricity, but it comes with some drawbacks because it's not professionally done by professional people, okay, in some way. So sometimes back in the day, there has been some issues of houses catching fire. So I highly discourage you from getting the illegal electricity. Then there is the issue of toilets, which has been quite an issue for quite some time. But now these days, there's the toilets that you have to pay for. I think it's about 10 shillings. Then we also have the issue of water. Now this has been quite some problem for quite some time. But now you'll see water pipes passing through the ground. And that's, I would say, a nice thing. So you'll find vendors or places where people go to buy water with their mtungis or to do whatever it is they want to do. And the mtungi is sold for 10 bob. So you have to be very conservative with the way you use your water, okay? But on Mondays, you can get a small discount. Some vendors will sell water at 5 bob per mtungi. The drainage system is a bit compromised in some areas. Especially in the rain season, some people really struggle here. But the people who live here for decades or years have adapted and, they have figured out how to maneuver with all these challenges. Garbage or waste disposal is also a bit of a concern. Now, sometimes you'll see piles of takataka in some places. So there's the companies that come and collect the takataka, or sometimes they just burn it. I think it would be nice to address such things. People should not be living like this in 2025. So Kibera benefits from the railway line. It goes all the way through here to Kikuyu to eventually Uganda. So for that reason, the trains pass here 5 times daily. So despite all the challenges that exist in this area, people figure out how to make something positive out of everything. Now wanafaa kupigiwa Kamba. So when you spend the day here, you learn a lot of things about this life, and you'll also learn to appreciate the small things that you take for granted that some people wish they had. I like the fact that people take their kids to school here. That's very good, and that is the way to go. We need to look at how to make life better in Africa, right? It's also good that people organize tournaments for kids to play football, especially now that they're in the holidays. They need something to keep them busy. And just like any other area or slum, you will always have some problems with some insecurity incidents in some areas. but there's solutions to all this. They have community policing. The guys are trying to be kept busy to try to avoid getting into crime. I think it would be nice to start thinking critically, okay? There's a very young population here in Kibera, and when you walk around, you feel like it's wasted potential. These young people should be given something to do to make something good out of their life. That is how you reduce the crime rates. Anyways, I don't live here. I just come here once in a while. I would love to know the challenges you face in Kibera and what you think can be done to make life better here. Thank you very much, and I will see you later.